Hi, boys and girls. This morning I kept messing up and I went to school, and so I decided I was going to have to do it again. And you're probably thinking, and you look better. Not really, but Annie McRae. Remember we read Hip Hip Hooray for Annie McRae? This one is There's Always a Way, Annie McRae. But before we start this awesome story here, I would like to share Daniel. He did really good on some plurals. He also decorated me some Easter eggs. Mrs. Sargent must have put this in the packet because I didn't know it was in there. Yay, Miss Sargent. And then Michael, he did living and non-living things. He's got water and grass and a flower. And he rocked solar system. Amazing. Liam, look at this. Is that just gorgeous or what? That made me so happy because I get to look at this when Easter's here. He rocked compound words. Nice. And let's see what we got. Oh, David. He has color by subtraction. Look how neat that is. My gosh, it's a pro. I love it. And he did some eggs for me too. Yeah. And he rocked prefixes. Nice. I'm so proud of y'all because we don't know what we're doing. Oops, sorry, I almost lost my hat there. Didn't mean to. Let me find my book. I only have a little bit of space here, you know. It's not like my desk at school. This is a little teeny thing. All right, here we go. There's always a way, Annie McRae. Hey, did you notice the hat? Don't have any turquoise boots yet, but I'm going to look for some. Got a little bit of the curly red hair going on. I don't know. Well, anyway, you'll get the gist. So this one is another book by Brad Wilcox and illustrated by Julie Olson. She still doesn't have her teeth, her front teeth. I guess he wrote this very soon after the other one. Okay, here we go. Howdy, Annie hollered as she burst through the doorway of room 118. Annie McRae was one of the brightest second graders at Silver Hills Elementary School. That's not really true. I mean, it says room 14 and it's Welsford H. Clark Elementary School. But, you know, we got to make it a little more fun. So, here's that. Just a cutie. During math class, Annie usually figured out the brain buster problem before anyone else. I bet you she's not going, ooh, 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 ooh. I think her hand's just raised. The straw hat's got to go in a minute. Okay. There she is, see? Raising that hand. I'm going to be a great mathematician. That means really smart math. She would tell Mrs. Lyon in the lunch line, where she was supposed to be giving her number. That should be Miss Krager. Mrs. Krager would laugh and say, "There's always a way, Annie McRae." Sometimes I'm so glad you can't really see the words because sometimes I mess them up. At sharing time in the afternoon, Annie would respond to chapter books by doing creative dances. Whew. Sometimes Mr. Garcia would even invite her to perform for Dr. Nancy Livingston, the principal. Well, ours is Mrs. Patton. "I'm going to be a famous dancer," Annie would announce. Dr. Livingston was always amazed to see someone dancing in turquoise blue cowboy boots. Gotta have 'em. Would nod her head and say, "There's always a way, Annie McRae." She wants to do a lot of things. She's a dreamer. That's awesome. And that's about how things went every day. Until one afternoon when Annie told her friend Jessie she wanted to be a principal, like Dr. Livingston, or our Mrs. Patton. Jessie said, "You can't be a principal if you're going to be a dancer, and you can't be a dancer if you're going to be an author, and you can't be an author if you're going to be a mathematician. There's just no way, Annie McRae." This is her good friend, Jessie. After school, Annie arrived late to her piano lesson and didn't say howdy to Mrs. Yahtzee as she slumped towards the piano bench. "What's the matter?" Mrs. Yahtzee asked. "I wanted to be a piano teacher just like you when I grow up," Annie declared, "but now I can't." "Who says you can't?" responded Mrs. Yahtzee. "There's always a way, Annie McRae." I don't know what's going on here, but got a little bit of problem going on. Oh, hello. Just got to see and make sure the book's somewhere in this little area. At home, Annie gave her little brother a pony ride while her parents prepared dinner. Grandma C watched from her chair and said, "Hip hip hooray for Annie McRae. You're going to be the best mom in the world when you grow up." Remember hip hip hooray for Annie McRae? "That's exactly what I want to be," explained Annie, "but now I can't." "Who says you can't?" exclaimed Grandma C. "There's always a way, Annie McRae." I think I'm rocking these red curls here. Oh, didn't show you the pictures. That night, Annie lifted her stuffed horse, Chestnut, from his corral on the windowsill and carried him towards her bed. She carefully checked the bandage she had wrapped around his sore leg the day before. "I wanted to be a veterinarian too," she told Chestnut sadly, "so I can help animals like you." Then she took the horse's mouth in her hand and moved it, open and closed, as she recalled Jessie's words. There's just no way, Annie McRae." And that was that. She climbed slowly into bed. And there's Chestnut right there with his little wrapped up leg. Wish I had my bedroom that clean. What if Jessie's right? She asked herself. What if I can't be all I want to be? She said. She held Chestnut tightly under her chin. Annie loved writing, working with numbers, and dancing. She loved playing the piano, tending babies, and bandaging horses when they got hurt. How was she going to give up her dreams when she didn't even know which ones she could live without? Annie buried her head in her pillow and cried till she tasted tears. Salty, I know. That's when she heard her dad coming down the hall. "Hey, buckaroo, I hope you're ready," he called. "I got some rootin' tootin' stories to read." He threw open the bedroom door and found Annie still crying. "What's the matter?" Dad asked. Annie wiped her eyes with the back of her hands. "I wanted to be an author and a mathematician and a dancer. You're good at all those things, Dad agreed, but I also want to be a principal, a piano teacher, a veterinarian, and the best mom in the world. Those sound like great goals, but Jessie said I can't do it all. She said there's just no way, Annie McRae. He looks like a nice dad. Dad chuckled softly and lassoed his daughter into a big Stetson-sized hug. There's always a way, Annie McRae, but it doesn't all have to happen today. Oh, that's so sweet. Doesn't that just make you feel better? You don't have to do it all in today. That'd be stressful, wouldn't it? So anyway, hip hip hooray for Annie McRae. And now we have There's Always a Way, Annie McRae. These are the only two that I have that he's written with Annie McRae. I don't know if there are any more. I'll have to check that out. Can't go to the library though. And I just wanted to tell everybody to have a great evening. Remember, stay safe, follow the rules so we can get through this difficult time. You're doing great on your work at home, so keep it up. Hip hip hooray for Miss Harman's class at Silver Hills Elementary School. Talk to you later.